Hi, hi, hi. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Becoming the Kayi Woman Conference Day 1. I'm so glad to be having this. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be hosting this. Welcome while we wait for our guest speaker for tonight. This is me telling you welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. As you're coming in, let me know where you're joining from. Are you joining from Lagos? Are you joining from Ibadan? Are you joining from where are you joining from? Let me know. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Mary Bolarinwa is joining from Lagos. Okay, can I see more responses to know where we're joining from? Thank you. Adebisi Okay, Mudupeoluwa is joining from Osun State. Oladele Peace is joining from Jigawa. It's good to have you all. It's good to have you all. Kindly share the link with your friends, share the link with your sisters, share the link with somebody. You can share the link with a guy. Blessing is joining from Abuja. Thank you for joining. You can share the link with your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance. Tosin is joining from Ibadan. It's good to have you. Blessing is joining from Edo State. Nifemi from Ibadan. It's good to have you. Welcome to Becoming the Kayi Woman Conference. I'm happy that you are here. Feikem is joining from Ibadan. Mary is joining from Osun State. Thank you. Please keep sharing the link. Please keep sharing the link. Our guest is here, but before I bring him up, I want you to know a little bit about our guests. Our guest is, I think I'll just read his bio. I'll just summarize his bio and so that you guys will have an idea. Now, Becoming the Kayi Woman Conference was born out of the need for women to have a safe space. Now, if at the on the course of the conference you realize that speakers were not really given, oh, come and talk about this topic, come and talk about that topic. It was very intentional because we wanted a space where women can come and say, I have a question for you. This is what is bothering me and I need an answer for it. So if we have somebody in the house, an expert in the house, people that have worked that part before, they can tell you, oh, I have an answer. And they're not just talking from theory, they're talking from a perspective, they're talking from practical views. So you can listen to them and know that, yeah, this person feels my pain, this person understands what I'm going through and will give me answers. So we have Mr. Lawal here, Coach Remy Lawal, and he's not just anybody. If you have followed me very well, you realize that this person is very, very dear to me. Very, very dear. And I'm not even talking from the perspective that I know him on, on a close level. I'm talking on a professional perspective. I think there was a time I posted on my WhatsApp status and I said that therapy is one of the best things I did to myself last year. And he was my therapist. I listened to him and I took down a lot of things from, I think, how many minutes therapy we had together. And I tell you, it was a lot of unpacking, it was a lot of mind renewal, it was a lot of clarity, it was just a lot. And I told myself, I said, is it that Is it that I didn't think about these things before? I didn't see the way it brings perspective into things, and I'm like, wow, I did not think about this. Even this afternoon, we still have a very short conversation, and I was like, ha, I need people to come and hear these things you are sharing with me. It can't be only me hearing this thing. And I'm privileged and honored to have him join us tonight. I'm really hoping that the network is really good because I am seeing him here, but it looks like the network is doing on and off. Damlola from Ibadan, you're welcome. Messi from Ilefe, you're welcome. Thank you all. Please keep sharing the link. Share the link to somebody. Today we're going to be talking about relationship and marriage. Let me just give you a hint. So we're going to be talking about relationship and marriage. So if you have your boo online, please share the link to your boo. Let him know that there's a place that he's supposed to be. Coach David is joining from United States of Oyo State. I love you. All right. So, I will be reading his bio. I summarize his bio because his bio is a lot. If you want to see the full bio, you can go on our Instagram page that's been posted there. But for now, I'll just read the summary before I bring him up. So, Lawal Oluremi Emmanuel is a premier family life practitioner and peak performance coach with nearly 2 decades of experience transforming lives and relationships. A behavioral change agent and cognitive therapist. He works at the intersection of psychology, emotional intelligence, and relational health. Is the founder of Trust Leadership Consult and provost of the TLC Institute of Family Life and Intervention, widely known for its habit dissolution framework that has helped hundreds of families and young people break limiting patterns. Passionate about human growth and emotional intelligence, is a leading voice in premarital and family coaching. With an online ovation, I need to see you guys welcome him. Welcome, Coach Remy Lawal, as I add him to the stage. You are welcome, sir. It's good to have you. Can you hear me
Good
clearly?
evening. Very clearly. Very clearly. Good evening. And good evening to all our guests. Okay, I'm the guest, Abby.
Yeah, the guest.
Everywhere across the nation.
It's
Thank
good
you
to
all for
have
joining
you.
us.
It's good to have you. Thank you for
Thank you for having me.
joining. Thank you for honoring our platform, and thank you for not looking down on us. We know that you've spoken on big platforms, so this one like just one. So thank
One
you
of the
for
big this
honoring
is
us.
one of the
Thank you
big
for being here.
platforms.
We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I would get right into the questions I have for you, but I want to use this opportunity to tell you, Kayi women, in the comment section, if you have any question relating to family life, relationship, marriage, clarity, direction, please drop your questions and we will be treating them one after the other. This is why we are here. We are here to answer questions. I don't just want him to come and just talk, talk, talk. I want him to really answer questions that are on the mind of Kayu women. So my first question to you tonight will be one of the things we're talking about in the afternoon. You mentioned something and it stuck with me. You know, we have what will I use the word? We women, we have seen marriage as, some of us, especially women in I think they call them millennia, the generation before the Gen Zs. I think those
Gen
are the
Z.
millennials, especially the millennials. They see marriage as a do or die affair. They see marriage as, if it's not working, then it just has to work. I'm the problem. I have to make it work. It has to work somehow. So how do you How do you tell a woman that's coming to you for therapy and saying, "Oh, this is what I'm going through in my marriage," and you know that this person is almost doing everything right? Because I know that there's no perfect person. I know she must have her flaws, she must have, the things that she's struggling with and all of that. But if you check very well, you realize that the man is really at fault. What do you advise a woman? Let me give you a context. Let's say that, let's not use abuse now. Let's say that a woman is the financial head of the home, she's providing and all of that. And at the end of the day, the man is still not standing up to other responsibility like being emotionally available, being physically present. She's more like the one running the home. In that situation, what would you advise?
Okay. I think the conversation we're having this afternoon that you said stuck with you was actually when I said the Bible says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. And I said the first thing we need to do is to verify that God put them together. So the Bible did not say what men put together, men should not put asunder. So if anybody comes to me with the same case that you have, put forward, see, life is not balanced like they would always say, but we can balance it up with a lot of other things. If the woman is carrying the financial
Mm,
responsibilities of the home, okay, it's not a bad thing. It's a thing for the now. I would encourage her to go on if there are signs that the man is making efforts, to change the way things are. And if things are not changing, regardless of his efforts, at no point would he say he doesn't have to give, because it cannot be zero sum. That the entire thing they do that has to do with finance is just the woman. So the little the man makes, he uses it for his own needs, not for the
mm,
family need. Yeah,
mm,
at that point, I think the woman should apply the reverse gear.
okay.
That's the truth. She should apply the reverse gear, because the thing is, it is you who has made yourself a victim of your own standard.
Mm,
If you have verified that the man is not making efforts, it's one thing, let's get it right. It's one thing that he's laboring every day, but things are not evening out. It's understandable. You keep,
mm,
fixing things, you keep, bridging the gap. Nobody should know. And he is equally, appreciating what you're doing by showing up in other areas. He has to show up in other areas, because what we're talking about right now is the financial lack, which the woman, to the glory of God, is able to meet to an extent. However, her emotional needs must be met. There are other responsibilities like taking care of the children. Imagine my wife supporting the home, and then I still expect her to be the one to take the kids to school. Isn't that stupid? I still expect her to be the one to, let's assume we live in a house where tap is not running from, you pinch the wall and the water is running. You have to go down to go fetch the water. You have to go to the market to go buy things. She's still the one doing all of these things. As far as I'm concerned, it would be stupid of me to allow her carry that burden. That's the whole truth. Because if
mm,
I was the one supplying, my expectation would be when I get home, food should be ready.
mm,
So since I'm not the one supplying the funds, before my wife gets home, food should be ready. I
mm,
should help the kids with their assignments, help them with other chores in their house. It doesn't change anything. It has not changed the fact that I'm the husband. The fact that my wife is providing the money has not changed the fact that I am the husband.
mm,
Now, hear me very well. This is a state that we had been in my family, in my
mm,
own personal family. And the truth is, you would never know where it is coming from, and you would
mm,
never know who does what. And we have instituted in my house, nobody does this or does that. Once you're
mm,
available, be the one doing it. So
mm,
nobody should carry the entire weight. If it
mm,
tilts to one side, it becomes a burden on the other person. So you
yeah,
must find a balance. Look, if we have 1 million naira to pay, And by every means, my own honesty, all I can afford is 100,000. I should make it plain that all I can afford is 100,000. My honesty is seen, the transparency is there. It won't be a burden for my wife to provide the other 900,000.
Mm.
But when I have 100,000 and I'm making it look like, what is it? Can't you allow me keep this 100,000? I have other things I need to pay transport. Does she not need to pay transport? Does she not have
Mm.
other things she also would want to do with money? See,
Mm.
let's understand what privilege of saying, and I'm going to say it now, is that we are being differentiated by gender does not take away the fact that we are first humans.
Mm. Wait,
We are all first
let me
and
repeat
foremost
that for people to
humans.
hear. That we are being differentiated by gender does not
Gender
mean that
does
we are not
not in any
first
way.
human.
Humans, yes, all of us are human beings. So you would first treat that person like a human being, not like a woman.
Mm.
And this is one of the things that have affected marriages. When people come, they try to play the gender card. I don't play the gender card in my therapy sessions. I don't play the gender card. Now, let me give you a typical example. I'm going to use my family mostly, in all of this, so that people won't think that I'm using my experience as a therapist to use other people's cases. If need be, I'll bring them in. Now, my wife has worked in the corporate setting all her career life.
Mm.
I have been a street person all my work life, if you get what I'm saying. Now,
Mhm.
if we have a corporate decision to make in my home, wouldn't it be stupid for me to be playing the man, to say
Mm.
I'm the husband, I'm the man? My dear, I leave the corporate decisions for my wife to make. And when it comes to street decisions, I take them because I am the one who has done street most of
Mm.
my career life, and she has done corporate. So it's about who can handle it. It's not, don't you know I am the man.
Mm.
If your wife has the negotiation skill and you want to buy a property, my
Mm.
man, please step back. Let your wife do the negotiation so that you can buy what you were supposed to buy at 30,000 at 15,000. You don't,
Mm.
my friend, go and sit down. I'm the woman here. You will lose money, for Christ's sake. You will
Mhm.
lose money. You will lose money. I was listening to Pastor Jerry the other day, said one day that people tried to harass him, and his wife was like, I will deal with you. He said in his mind, he was saying, thank God. Even though she troubles me at home, but she cannot withstand people insulting me. Yes, me, I may not be able to talk, but my wife can talk. Yes, give it to them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I think we should stop the gender thing. So, secondly, is if she's the one providing, please make up for not being able to provide by doing other things. I think we
Mm.
should stop it there.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so profound. But there was something you said, and I want you to reiterate it. You said something that what God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
That's on that. Yeah.
So now, are you trying to say that there are some marriages that God did not join together? Because that's what people quote, that's what spiritual people quote when they don't want to leave a marriage, when they are feeling like, oh, this is wrong for me, but I don't want to leave because what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. God hates divorce and all of that. So, what would you say in a case where it is not working? What would you say in that case? Where and then they quote that scripture and they come to you as a therapist, what would you advise in just 2 minutes, because we have more burning
Okay.
questions.
Okay. All right. If I can do this in just 2 minutes. Not everything I have was given to me by God. Let's get that right. God couldn't have given an armed robber money that he stole.
Hmm.
So now we live in the era of globalization, where your definition of a thing as a Christian is not the global definition. When you're defining marriage right now globally, you need to include all these other bisexual, all these other gay marriages, and all the likes. If you That's the truth. If
And
I
the people
said your
getting married to their
definition,
big girls.
Your definition of marriage as a Christian is not the same as the global definition of marriage as it stands right now. For
Yeah.
you, marriage may be the union between a man and a woman. In other
Mm.
countries, they will tell you marriage is between a man and a man, a woman and a woman, a man and a dog, a woman and an other animal. You know, understand what I'm saying? So now,
Yeah.
are you going to say that God is the one who instituted all of that? So
Mm.
even when it is between a man and a woman, a lot of people walked the altar because they found a woman that suits their imaginary pictures.
Mm.
So she's beautiful, she's good looking, she's this, she's that, but she's not on the same journey with them. I will say this and say it clearly. Yes, I'm not a theologian, if there's anything like that, but I know that Adam lost it because when the wife came, the wife was given to him specifically as a helpmeet, not a romantic mate. But the
Mm.
moment the woman came, he first saw a romantic mate. Wow, the bone of my bone. And from that day, he could not do anything else. And that was how they both messed things up. Marriage is actually supposed to be for help. So when you are coming into marriage, understand what you as the woman is doing, what he as the man is doing, then what are you both helping each other to achieve? Because that
Mm.
thing that they call love that walked you the aisle will expire immediately you walk away from that aisle. It
Mm.
metamorphoses into help, which is the
Mm.
entire essence of marriage. So if
Mm.
they come to me and I realize that there is no anchorage, there's something we call anchorage in therapy. There is actually no anchorage. There is no journey that they are walking together. These are people who came together because they found each other admirable. They will begin
Mm.
to frustrate each other's lives. I will tell them to take a break. The first thing I do is I make them observe 1 month break, and then we'll come back, we observe. If it's still not working, I'll tell them to approach the courts and break the thing. I will then know God did not join these ones together, because whatever God gives you, it will give you peace, no matter how much you
Mm.
struggle at the beginning.
Mm.
Whatever God gives you, it will eventually, ultimately give you peace, no matter how much you struggle with it at the beginning.
Wow. Wow. That is so profound. I'm taking my time to digest it. Can you women, are you listening? So whatever God gives you will give you peace. You know, we could stay in relationships and you just know that this is not for me, but the fear of what is outside, what next, what if I leave, is there somebody else, and then you just stay, you manage. Because one thing I've learned about women is that we are like, what's that, we can mold ourselves into any situation. And that will lead me to my next question. What is one of the or the leading thing that when women come to you about marriage, what's that number one thing they complain about? Because there are some men that are online and I want them to hear it as well. Because I already told my Chayil to bring in their men online. So if your man is not online, please drag him here because this question is for him. What's that number one thing they complain about? And what's the next step? What step do you ask them to take?
Okay. Um, to round up the last thing you said, that I don't want to take a walk because what is out there for me. Before I desire not to die, at least I should be alive.
That's true.
Good. All
That's
right.
true.
Let's go back to what they come to me for. You'll be shocked that if a man comes to me, he complains about the same thing. If a woman comes, she complains about the same thing. They don't come to complain that my husband doesn't pray. They don't come to complain that my husband doesn't go to church. They do. In fact, I've hardly received any client who told me her spouse is cheating. No, it's a
Wow.
case of emotional disconnection. This is what
So
led me
you're
to
saying,
writing my.
sorry to cut you. So you're saying that in
Yeah.
all your years of being a therapist, no
Yes.
woman has come to you and say, my complaint is that my husband is cheating.
I said none. It may come up along the line, but you realize it's not a problem for them.
Wow.
It is not a
Wow.
problem. Oh, yes.
That
It
says
is
a
not a
lot.
problem. No, it is not a problem for women. And I can
Mm.
tell you today that there is no, you see this, I'm coming back to the question. I'm just answering this because of what you said now. You
Yes,
see
sir.
this thing that has to do with relationship. Let me say this, and I want everybody to listen to me clearly.
Mm. Mm.
We have something we call Oedipus syndrome and Electra syndrome. If it is not properly managed in children, that's what leads to men and women having this unmatched and unquenchable desire for the opposite sex.
Mm.
That's a topic for another day. So we have people like that, but the number is not as much as we make it look. These
Mm.
are people who, no matter what you do with them, they are never satisfied. So they keep looking for others. But it hardly happens in marriage. The reason is the reason why infidelity happens in marriage is because there is a kind of attachment I am looking for. Every human being's mind is looking for what is familiar. And
Mm.
once I can't get what is familiar, I keep looking for it.
Mm.
And the search is endless. And some people
Mm.
will find it in a woman that is not the one they married. And you see them, they keep a healthy relationship with a concubine than they are keeping with their wives.
Wow.
Women will keep a healthy relationship with their concubines than they are keeping with the husband they marry. This is
Mm.
because there's an attachment they are used to, and they are looking
Mm.
for it. Like I said, the mind is looking for what is familiar, not is what available.
Mm.
Not is what is available, rather. So now, in searching for what is familiar, that's what leads to infidelity. Let's put that aside and back to the question you asked:
Mm.
what do they come for? To be honest, very simple. It's a case of he no longer loves me,
Mm.
he doesn't care, he
Mm.
doesn't support me.
Mm.
Those are the three key things that people have brought to me. The three dominant things: he no longer loves me, he doesn't care, he doesn't support me. And these three things are all interlinked. At no point would love die. Love does not die.
I was
Let's
about to
get
ask.
that fact. No, love does not die. Emotions are energy emotion. That's what we call, that's how they got emotion. Energy emotion. You cannot kill, you cannot destroy energy, but you can metamorphose, you can transform energy.
Transform.
So
Yes.
what, yes, you can transform energy. What happened was that what they considered as love was transformed because certain things were not met.
Mm.
And at that point it begins to affect a lot of other things. Let me say this: all of us have been there when you fell deeply in love. Nothing was difficult for you. You walk into your man's house as somebody who is still dating him. You see him washing clothes, and you're telling me, how can you be washing clothes when I'm here?
Mm.
You see him, he wants to go to the market. So, no, let me go, let me do it for you, let me cook for you. And the man is saying, no, 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 don't worry, you're my guest, and all of that. All of a sudden, the same man can no longer help you out in the kitchen. The same
Mm.
woman will be telling you it's either you go buy a washing machine or you do your laundries yourself. What went wrong? Love did not die. Love transformed. Love was converted into something else that both of them are struggling to understand. And until they both understand it, they will keep struggling. That
Mm.
is the truth. They will keep struggling. Now, this is the most critical thing. I know some singles will be listening to us now. You see, your early caregivers, whoever you saw as your dominant caregiver, most times your caregivers are not your parents. Most
Okay.
times your caregivers are not your parents.
Yes.
Sometimes your parents are your caregivers.
Yes.
But whoever stood as your dominant caregiver cultured you with a particular kind of attachment style. And that's
Yes.
why they say like begets like. So you
Yes.
begin to look for people who look like you. But you see, we forget it when we get drowned in excitement of I want to
Mm.
marry. So you are no longer looking for it.
Mm.
You're no longer looking for it. What
Mm,
subsists, what makes a lot of us to persist is the fact that I'm looking for somebody who is not who I am. Let me see if that person can change me to become like her. I am an introvert. Let me marry an extrovert. Maybe that
mm,
could help me. At no
mm,
point will you, an introvert, become an extrovert. It's impossible. So
mm.
you could do it during courtship and make things work a bit, but you're struggling. The moment reality dawns that you're married, you will revert back to your natural state, which is introvertedness. Then the other man will now begin to think you hate him, or the woman
Mm.
will now be thinking you don't love me. No, it's not that you didn't love each other, it's just that the things you did to make the relationship work, you can no longer sustain them because they were not who you were. While you were cutting, you were acting. So now
Wow.
you have cut the acting, you have entered your real frame. Both of you are
Mm,
no longer understanding each other. So I can no longer see the woman I fell in love with during courtship. I'm seeing the
exactly.
real woman I married. You can no longer see
Mm.
the man you were in love with during courtship. You're now seeing the man you married. So nothing happened to your love. At first, it was not love. Both of you were acting. So I'm calling on singles right now. Cut out the acting. This idea of what if I lose him? Auntie, brother, if you lose this person and you marry this same person, if you don't lose this person and you marry this person and remain miserable, which would you prefer? I don't know if I answered your question.
Hmm. You did. You did. You saw the comment I pinned. You're answering questions. Wow. I'm really taking my time to internalize this. And I think the part where we are actually acting during courtship, you see that for me. I once saw a clip where two people went out on a date and the lady wanted to fast. Like I think it was a skit. So she wanted to fast, but because it was a first date, she was trying to, keep it in. She was trying to hide it and all of that, look prim and proper. But now showed when they were in the marriage and how they were doing farting competition. So I think that was the clip that played in my head. How that, when we are doing the dating and courtship thing, we always want to look very nice. I remember then my husband, then boyfriend, fiance, anytime he was coming to visit me, I would always try to look my best. I would always try to look good. I know he's coming, so I just try to. But now he has seen me in different shades, different colors. He has seen me in different phases, and he still intentionally still chooses to love me in whatever phase he has found me. So it goes to say a lot, and which will bring me to talking about this. During pregnancy and postpartum, a woman's body goes through a lot. Now, and this is a very delicate topic, and I just wish that the target audience are online. A woman's body goes through a lot during pregnancy and postpartum. And it mentioned something out that, a man falls in love with somebody he met. And then when he gets married to her, there's another person. Now, there's a part
Sure.
of a woman that she cannot control, and that's the physical aspect. Because pregnancy and postpartum does a lot. Let's say in the physical aspect now, let's not even talk about the emotional aspect yet. So in the physical aspect, let's say he married, he likes a slim lady, he likes his lady slim and all of that. Now that slim lady is big. She has become big, and is not her doing. Let's say he likes, when a lady has, maybe he just liked her, physical outlook, and then pregnancy and postpartum did something big to her, and then there was so much changes. I have heard of marriages that, started hitting the rocks because of situation like this. In What would you say was wrong? Is it that the woman did not notice the kind of man, or do you think that questions like this should be asked during courtship? Oh, what if my body changes? I know that you're in love with me like this, but what if something happens to me? Would you still love me? Do you think questions like this should be asked during courtship? Or do you think there should be certain signs that will tell a lady that if anything happens to this thing that a man loves about you, he is going to change? Or what would you advise in this context?
Okay. You see, we've changed the face of premarital coaching. I had a conversation with you sometime last year that at a point this year, I'm going to make bold statement and say to people openly that a bad marriage is a choice,
Yeah.
because there are lots of things. I told you that. And in a few days from now, I'll make that bold statement. And I'm going to stop premarital coaching. I
You
won't even
already
have
made
people
the
in.
statement here, so you have debuted the statement here.
Okay, so I'm not going to have any training for it, neither will I take in any couple for premarital. If you want to be trained or you want to go through premarital, get my book, and you it will be a whole lot. Now, this is it. You see, there are too many things we don't take time to learn. What we look out for is the emotional outcome of other people's marriages, forgetting there are no two situations that are the same. We do not look at their physical outcomes. That when my mother was married, she was married as a very tiny, pretty young lady.
Yeah.
But because she has had me and my siblings, her body has gone through a lot of things. My father did not remain the same. As at
Yeah.
the time I married my wife, my skin hadn't started dropping like it is right now.
Mhm.
So, if my wife's skin starts dropping because she has put to bed, and I am using that against her, it's on me.
Hmm.
It's on me. So, when people come to me for premarital, because you can't solve this kind of problems in marriages, like what I do with couples therapy is sometimes I load them with enough bandage and painkillers. Because when people are fixated, oh, that's true. When people are fixated, there's hardly much you can do for them. Because now
Hmm.
you want a slimmer lady in something that you both co created. You were the one who impregnated her.
Hmm.
She brought forth a baby that you both call my child. Do you understand? And
Hmm.
then you prefer the child to the mother who carried the baby, and the consequences of their child is on her, not on you. Now
Yeah.
you want to hold it against her. I don't think it makes sense, which is why I make sure that people who come for premarital with me, you must learn what is prenatal,
Hmm.
antenatal,
Hmm.
postnatal,
Wow.
postpartum, how to change diaper. If my
Hmm.
wife is not around or she's not feeling well, she cannot breastfeed this child, what must I do? You must write on those things and present to me. We'll go
Wow.
through it, and the woman will do the same, and then they both compare notes, and then you ask yourself, which of these things can I handle?
Wow.
That's number one. Number two, what are the body changes or body structural changes that affects a woman after that childbirth? You understand all of them, varying from one individual to another, beginning from pregnancy. There are people, when
Hmm.
they are pregnant in the nose, the lips, and the legs. Some will
Exactly.
be pregnant in all of
Exactly.
their bodies. Do you understand?
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
need to understand all of these things. Knowledge is what breaks this box.
Hmm.
So I make you expose yourself to that knowledge. Okay, should your wife become pregnant and she's not pregnant in her nose, her legs, entire body, not just the stomach, and then after putting to bed, her stomach refuses to go down, what will you do? Would you
Hmm.
still love her? These
Hmm.
are questions I ask. I bring the picture. I bring the pictures for you to see. And I'll make
Hmm.
you go see your favorable marriage. Which is your favorite marriage? The marriage you have seen that you have admired the most. Go and check the woman. If you can ask them for an old picture of the woman, please go and ask for it so that you will know she wasn't like this when she was married.
Hmm.
So it's important for us to know that all of these things happen. And when they do, it is not the woman's fault, because if there's anything a woman preserves the most, it's their body. Do you know how much women go through to preserve their bodies? Do you think that same woman would be willing to watch that body cave in? But it's
Yeah.
something that's beyond her control. and the only support you can give her at that time is to stand by her, give her an assurance that I'm in love with you.
Hmm.
I'm in love with you no matter what.
Hmm.
So this is why some of the things I do in marriage is I treat the 5 pillars of family, and
Hmm.
support is the last one. I dwell a lot on it. This
Hmm.
support thing we are talking about, my dear, let's go on.
Thank you so much. And I want to believe that you guys are learning something. Put it in comment section. Let the speaker know that you are learning. Let the speaker know that you are gaining clarity. We are going to go on with our questions. But I saw a question here briefly. Um, I want to find that question. I don't want to. It said this person said, okay, you talked about when couples you tell couples to break, not to break up now, like they should go on a break before they actually, if it's
Yes.
not now work out, they actually break up. So she's saying that that break itself is that not just dissolving the whole thing? Can you just summarize maybe in 1 minute because I still have questions.
Okay, I'm not dissolving the whole thing. The truth of the matter is that you do not heal in the same environment that made you sick.
Hmm.
It's an
So when you
emotional
put that in the
procedure.
comments, you do not
It's
heal in
an
the same
in the same
environment and
environment
made
that
you
made you
sick.
sick. So it's
Wow.
it's an it's an emotional process. Because let me
Wow.
understand, if you're both choking each other, there's no decision you want to make that can bring any change. So the first thing is for both of you to breathe. I
Hmm.
hope I'm not sounding like our president. So it's for both of you to breathe. So I'll ask you both to go. Then whilst you're on this break, I'm observing both of you to see your hunger. Do you understand? Now,
Hmm.
whilst I'm doing that too, I'm observing because there are three critical areas that affect a marriage: cognitive, behavioral, and communication.
Hmm.
I won't handle your spiritual. You go and meet your pastor. If I'm your pastor, I can handle the spiritual aspect. But this
Hmm.
critical part, these other three, they are my responsibility. Then, if I
Hmm.
observe that it is spiritual, I will correct these other three and ask you to speak with your pastor.
Hmm.
So we have cognitive, behavioral, and communication. So once I observe which one it is, I will just tell you to just please a minute. Let me just. Hello, honey. I
Okay.
sent.
So let me just pause in there. You had to pick that. So in this emotional so in this emotional listing, for we ladies, it takes a lot. And I'm going to still ask him a question about emotional healing. But you're back here now.
So let me
I'm
let me
yeah,
let me conclude that thing I was saying. So
yeah.
I asked them to take this break, and I'm doing those observations, understanding what is the impact of external influence that they are having. There are lots of things I do professionally within those 1 month, and then I'm also observing their hunger for each other. So if there's still hunger there, then I would begin to try to narrow down to what their challenges are so that we can begin to address it. But
Hmm.
if I see that both of them do not care, why they're observing that break, nobody's asking for who, nobody's asking me when are we ending this thing, can we end it now?
Hmm.
If you allow such people, over time, one person will destroy the other. And so if I say this, do you know that some couples who ended up killing each other is a lot better than some who left each other alive? Because the other person they left alive is just alive, but it's not living.
Hmm.
So that's the essence of that. That's the reason why I make them observe that break.
Yeah, I think that person that asked that question, I hope your question was answered. Time is, I don't know why when things are interesting, time just keeps running. But I really want to talk about that emotional healing. Now, for we ladies,
Yeah.
that the emotional part is like our core, one of our core
Yeah.
part of our lives. And I've realized over time, talking to ladies, speaking to ladies, that most times we do not heal from our previous traumas. It could be trauma growing up, it could be parental trauma. You could grow up in an environment where maybe you had an absent father, or you saw your father doing things that a father is not supposed to do, and all of that. Maybe the father was not um financially able to provide and all that, and somehow it makes up a part of your life growing up, but you probably the person does not know. Now, how do you bring yourself to the consciousness of I have a problem? There are some people that have problem and they don't even know. There are some people with problems that stem from emotional trauma and they do not know. On Sunday, we were having a gist session on Chayil, and most people said they want to work on their anger issue. And I was just smiling to myself, and I said, this anger is not just I decided to be angry. It is stemming from something. It is coming from somewhere. It is coming from probably a trauma, abuse, something that is making you always angry, something that is getting you irritated, something that something is triggering you almost every time you snap. So how do you get to that point where, number one, you realize that you have a problem? Number two, not just you realize that you have a problem, you now want to heal. Because I realize that healing, I don't want to start. I'm not a therapist, but let me just say that. Let me just ask my question. So, how do you get to the point where you realize you have a problem, and how do you heal from all of those traumas so that you don't transfer it to the next person? Because so many people have lost relationship because they have unhealed trauma, especially we
All
ladies.
right. Yeah, exactly. You're very correct. Not especially we ladies. I don't want us to narrow it to something. It's every human being, especially
But
those
I
of
think
us
for we ladies, we wear our emotions
born
in
in
our
Africa. Men wear their emotions. See, let me say this. I told you something. I don't play the gender thing. They will say women are emotional, men are rational, isn't
logical.
it? Good. So I want to ask, who passed an exam? Who became a PhD holder with emotions? So
Nobody.
women are both emotional and rational. But you would only say, okay, that they have expressional feeling. I mean, they express more than the others. We all have
Yeah,
emotion. Men
yeah,
are more jealous than women. Are you aware of that?
yeah, sure, sure.
That's our God nature. That's our God nature. Do you understand now? So now let's go back to it. We all have problem, and we all must admit we do. And that problem began from the day you want to be different from your parents.
So
I
can
don't
you
want to
repeat
raise
that?
the kind of hope. We all have problems,
Yeah.
and that problem began from the day we decided to be different from our parents
Hmm.
without defining who we want to be. What all
Without
of us are
defining
doing,
who we want to
defining
be.
who we want to be, what all of us are running from is I don't want to be like my parents, yet we don't have a picture of who we want to be like.
Hmm.
And according to the law of attraction, it is that thing that you're seeing that you are becoming. All of
Hmm.
us, like in a mirror, behold him, and we are changed into the same image.
Yeah.
So we should see disease from being the running from people to the running to.
Hmm.
When you are the running from person, you are always looking backward because something is chasing you. But the running to person is looking forward because there's
Forward.
something he's running to.
Hmm.
So the only way to heal from the trauma is leave what is behind and follow what is ahead. You said something about people who have issues with anger. There is no anger that is an expression of what is happening immediately. Anger is an expression of what had happened.
Hmm.
So what happened right now is only reminding you of what you have not been able to forget.
Hmm.
So that's why when people come to us for anger management, we listen to them, we have them go through how it comes. So you're able to get the emotion. What do you feel in your heart when it happens? You get the emotion that leads to it. You now trace it back to an experience, a significant experience they had growing
Hmm.
up or at some point in their lives. Nobody was born with anger issue, neither was anybody born kind.
Hmm.
So we all, the issues, this thing about nurture nature. That's it. So it's a nurture thing. It's not a nature thing. Nobody is naturally born angry.
Hmm.
I can explain that of Moses to you here and now, but that's not why we are here. Just so you know that it's a biblical thing. Oh
No,
yes,
no, let me tell you. They say stammerers are naturally angry. That's what they'll tell
stammerers are not naturally angry.
you.
Stammerers, there are stammerers who have natural anger issues. There are stammerers who do not. In fact, it's difficult for you to know they stammer.
Hmm.
But the reason why you are stammering is because naturally you are an impatient person. That's the first reason why you're stammering. You want to get everything out. In fact, stammering comes from your awareness. You're the one who is aware you're stammering. And that's why you want to
Hmm.
get everything out. And when you don't get it out, when you're misunderstood, that's where anger comes in. It's not stammering that makes you angry. It is misinterpretation of intention that leads
Hmm.
to anger. So what we do with stammering is we slow you down. We can
Hmm.
make people who stammer to stop stammering right now. We slow you down. Don't be in a hurry. If what you are saying is important, I will wait to listen to you. I will not be in a hurry.
Hmm.
So let's go back to it. When you grow up and you realize you have issues from the past, please look for a therapist to assess them, because you not only bleed on your spouse, you bleed on your children.
Yes.
It's important to heal from them. And people think that trauma is about because we lived in poverty. People who lived in wealth, in fact, are the worst traumatized,
Hmm.
because they had absent parents.
Yes.
Present is not that you can be present and be unavailable. You can be
Yes.
available and not be present. So we
Yes.
have a lot of that, and that's what breeds trauma. People are looking for their parents in people, and they can't find it. Let me say this: your mind does two things. Your mind helps you to connect and to protect. Now,
Hmm.
if I trust you so much, Rita, if I trust you so much and I confide in you, if you mess that confidence up, you mess that trust up, I will
Hmm.
not hate you. I will resent you. So the opposite of protection is resentment.
Hmm.
The opposite of protection is resentment. Then the next one is connection. Your mind is looking for what to connect. That's when you get into an environment, you're looking for people who look like you. If they put you
Yes.
in Germany today, the first person you're looking for the first man that will either speak English or Yoruba
Yes.
or Igbo.
Exactly. Yeah,
So your
exactly.
mind is constantly looking for connection. And once your mind cannot connect, because your mind is a connecting machine, it will look for something to connect to. This is how drug addiction, sex addiction, gadget addiction, and all other addictions come about.
Hmm.
So your mind must be connected as a couple for you
Hmm.
both to enjoy each other. So if you don't, now, if your mind has been disconnected as a child and you're now looking for what looks like you, first, go back to where I started. Stop running from something. I don't want people who lie. I don't want people who do this. I don't want a
Hmm.
family that is like this. No. Put a picture of the family you want. Who, for
Hmm.
the crown, ran away from the cross?
Hmm.
Did you see my interpretation of that scripture? Who
Yes.
for the crown who for the crown ran away from the cross? What crown are you running to while running away
Hmm.
from the cross? A
From the
lot of
cross.
people, what they are doing is that they are running away from the cross,
Hmm.
but they are not running to any crown. So what picture do you want? And then understand what that picture entails. I want a peaceful home. Nobody will hand you a key of a peaceful home, but they will hand you the character that builds a peaceful home. What character builds a peaceful home? What character builds a home that is loving? What character builds a home that is this? You learn those characters and you start becoming those characters. That's
Mm.
what you should do, not constantly looking for trouble. And a lot of us who saw our mothers being maltreated, we see our father in every man. And you forget that your father is an isolated man. All other men are not like your father. Your pastor is not
Mm.
like your father. He's not beating his wife. Not
Mm.
all your uncles beat their wives. So don't use your father as a
Yardstick.
figure to measure all men.
Mm.
No, you must isolate yourself from one significant event. Do not use one significant event to determine all others.
Hmm.
So the fact that you're from a poor home, it's fine to be from a poor home. But don't say because I'm from a poor home, I must not marry a poor man. That's a wrong mentality. What
Hmm.
stops you as a woman to be rich? And let
Hmm.
me say this, it's not part of the question you asked me. For all you women who are running to marry a rich man, congratulations, you will marry a rich man. But the best you can be is the wife of a rich man. You're not a rich woman. And
Whoa!
it won't in any way change the fact that you are from a poor home. Because the man will
Mm.
determine how much he gives you, the man will
Mm.
determine how much you get, and even
Mm.
if he makes you the treasurer, he can collect his money whenever he wants. And don't forget, everything he bought for you, when he's angry, he takes back from you. We all can remember the story that just happened to the celebrity lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
So heal from your trauma before getting into marriage. Trauma is
Mm.
not a disease. Let's make it clear now, because when you say people are traumatized, a lot of people think it is bad thing. Trauma is how your body has found to adapt to a situation.
Mm.
It's an adaptation thing. So if that adaptation is not in consonance with your current reality, that's where it becomes a problem.
Mm.
So you must find a way to redefine it so that your maladaptive system can be made to work with your current reality.
Mm.
So the fact that you saw your mom serving your dad, and now you're a contemporary woman who has said she will not serve her husband, right? Does not mean you should bleed on your husband. You just say it's okay, honey. You know, I'm this. Can we get a house help? It's a conversation thing. It's not for you to say, look, me, I can never be a slave to any woman. I can never. What I am is a man. If you know you want a house help, go and get a house help from your village. You have not solved any problem.
Mm.
You have not solved any problem. You have only messed up your own marriage. Let's stop here before we use this one question to.
See, all my questions. I'm looking at them and I'm like, are we going to finish this question? But really,
Let's just keep asking. Let's keep asking.
it has been an eye opening for me as well. What you just answered, even for me, I grew up. I think I can share my story. I grew up in a house where my dad was financially available. Like when I say financially available, in the sense that when it has to do with school fees, he wants to be available. But when it has to do with any other thing, my dad is not available. He's not there. When it has to, what will you wear? The only time my dad will buy us clothes is Christmas, and he's
Christmas.
always on point. When it's Christmas period, my dad will make sure that there is clothes. He will buy it. But so when I grew up, I was like, wait. There's something wrong in this thing that this man was doing. We wanted him to be available emotionally. We wanted somebody that for one, I wanted somebody I can sit down with and say, oh, this is what is going on in my life. Let's gist, let's talk. But that was not what I saw. That was not what, you know, I I didn't experience that for
Experienced.
me. I
Mm.
didn't experience because I'm the firstborn in the house. So I didn't really experience that. And because of that, intentionally, I have a daughter now. Intentionally, I tell my husband, I said, I want you to be best friends with our daughter. So somewhere in my mind, I didn't know that I was carrying over the things that I did not see in my dad to the things that I wanted to see. And I'm like, okay, so those things that I want to see, I now start preaching it to my husband and say, oh, this is what I want you to do. I want you, in fact, it got very intentional for me that I had to tell him that you bathing her should be a regular routine because that's your bonding moment. It's not always at home. So I'm like, okay, anytime you're available, just ensure that you bathe her. Even I still complained this morning. I said, this one you've been running away. Your bonding moment, that's your bonding. He said, I can bond with my daughter other ways. And I thought about it and said, what's my own self? This man can bond with his daughter other ways. Why am I forcing, So it really, it's an eye opener for me that I have actually been carrying things that I did not see, and then I'm projecting it onto my husband, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want
Exactly.
you to do because I want you to see because I didn't get it. Now,
Exactly.
this will lead me to my next question. In the place of healing emotionally, how do you say for instance, maybe not healing emotionally but trying to convey your emotional feelings to your spouse? Now you will come from the man's perspective. How do you convey that? Because we don't, as much as you said men are emotional, women are also logical and all of that. I realize we don't think alike. Women and men do not think alike. I've seen that happen over and over. How do I as a woman convey my feelings, convey how I'm feeling to my husband without making him feel like I am being aggressive, I am nagging, or I am coming on as I'm looking for that word now. I'm coming on as he does not know what he is doing. Let me give you an instance. So I had a conversation with couples recently. We were in a gathering, and it happened that the men were complaining about the same thing. The men were complaining
Communication.
about the same thing. How that it's not like I don't know this thing. Let me give you an instance. It's like mothers and their child. I want to be there for my child, and then we get to the point where I'm like, this is my child. What treat my child well. In Yoruba they say, omo me. And then you forget that you people made this child together. You understand what I'm trying to say? So,
Hmm.
how do you now convey your message to this man without making him feel like he's not trying? Because we women, it's like we forget everything that the man has done, all the good thing he has done. When we start complaining about the present, it's like we forget every other good thing he has done, and then in that moment, the man feels like, is it that you can't remember all of the other things? So, how do you convey your message without being aggressive, without making the man look bad and all that? Coming from the man's perspective, I think this will be my last question because time has gone. Oh my
Okay.
god.
You see, everything you said here now boils down to communication. And like I would always tell people, especially when we bring couples to counseling, communicate. Both of you should communicate. Communication is the bedrock of marriage. Communication is not the bedrock of marriage. Let them
Wow.
quote me anywhere. Yes.
Wow.
What
Okay.
you say, what you say is the bedrock of marriage. And when you say people should communicate, you must tell them what to say and how to say it.
Hmm.
There is the what to say, there is the how to say, and there is the when to say it. What women lack is the when to say it. The
Hmm.
same thing you want to say, if you keep it and you do not say it that moment, heavens will not fall. Instead of saying it
Hmm.
and bringing down heaven. And it is better you say it for the person to hear you than for you to say it and the person is angry with you and still did not hear you. So it makes you repeat the same cycle again and again. And the next time you're going to say it, you will not bring in what is one of the taboos of marriage: generalization and accusation.
Hmm.
Because you didn't say it when it should be said. You didn't say it how it should be said. There is how I hear things. There is how you must say things to me.
Hmm.
The fact that you want to say it, if you do not say it how I will hear it, you have not said anything.
Wow.
There are those of us who hear in pictures. There are those of us who hear in words. And there are
Hmm.
those of us who hear in gesticulation. So if
Hmm.
you're speaking words to somebody who understands in gesticulation, you have not said anything. Like the Bible says, you're just a clashing cymbal.
Hmm.
Yes. And if you're speaking to somebody who understands in pictures and you want him to hear your words, you will repeat that same thing again. And the day you are frustrated, you're going to accuse the man, which is a taboo in marriage. This is how you do all the time. You don't ever listen to me. And the man does not even
Yeah.
know what his problem is, because he cannot
Mm.
tell you that you have not been speaking to me, because he
Mm.
knows truly you've been speaking, but he doesn't understand.
Mm.
So the first thing you do when things go south, hold your peace. What we do in therapy is to help you bring the unconscious to the conscious.
Mm.
If you can succeed in bringing the unconscious to the conscious, you have won the battle. So hold your peace. Say to yourself, even if I don't say this thing now, heaven will not fall. You hold your peace and look for the right time. And this is me assuming that you know how your spouse hears things. That okay, he loves it when you wrap it around his needs. He loves it when you wrap it around respect. He loves it when you wrap it around money. He loves it when you wrap it around his children. He loves it when you wrap it around the love you have for him. Look for what your husband likes and wrap it around it.
Mm.
Sweetheart, you know how much I love you, and I know you love me so much.
Mm.
Um, what happened earlier? I see it rubbing off on our relationship. Yeah, rubbing off on our relationship. How? You have his attention. At
Mm.
that point, you drop the bombshell. He would hear every word you say.
Mm.
But when you're
Mm.
like, because he's biting you hard, you want to throw it off, you give it hot, hot. As it dey hot, give it as it dey hot. You too, you go dey collect as it dey hot. It's as simple as
Mm.
that. So communication is important. But for it to be the bedrock of marriage, there has to be the how, the when, and the what. There is what to say. Look, if you're listening to me tonight and you're a couple, can you de-emphasize the use of you? This is what you do all the time. This is how you treat me. This is what you said. Can you de-emphasize the you? It doesn't address the issue, it addresses the person. And
Mm.
nobody loves to be accused. Nobody loves to be judged. Nobody loves, all of those things. Nobody loves it. So if you tell me what you did earlier made me feel inadequate, it made me feel disrespected, I will listen to you. That wasn't the intention. I'm sorry, how can I disrespect you? I'm sorry if that's how I came across. But you
Mm.
are disrespecting me. You shouldn't have disrespected me. Why would you disrespect me like that? The guy is like, I was only making a point, and you're
Mm.
turning it to disrespect. Do you understand? So because
Mm.
you're accusing him, you put him on the defense, and defense does not make any marriage grow. Every marriage that is going through defense will break up. It may not physically break, but both of you will just be two tenants living in the same flat.
Mm.
So your emotions are valid, and nobody should, contest that. But your emotions become invalid when they are not appropriately expressed.
Mm.
Your emotions are valid. Nobody should contest it. But your emotions become invalid. Your anger, your disappointment, they become invalid when they are not properly expressed. So you
Mm.
must learn to express your emotions in the appropriate manner. So the whole essence of expression of emotion is for understanding, and then for the union to be strong, not to be weakened. So if I say it now, let me just give this as a tip and as a gift to everybody that is listening. Before you say something, ask yourself three questions.
Okay.
Three questions. Now listen. Number one, must I say this?
Mm.
Number two, what do I want to achieve? If
Mm.
you understand the goal, if I say it this way, will I achieve that goal? That's all. You will
Mm.
so enjoy peace in your home. Number one, must
Mm.
I say this? Number two, what do I want to achieve? When you understand what you want to achieve, then the third one is, if I say it this way, will I achieve it?
Mm.
Your answer to the third question will lead you to your action, or may lead you to another question. It may lead you to asking the first question you asked.
Must I say?
Must I say? Simple.
Hmm. As much as I want to wrap this up, there's a question on my mind,
Go
and
ahead and ask.
I think that I think that most ladies would also want that question because when you were speaking, it's made me realize that it made me realize something. I would not want to say what it made me realize. Let me just ask my question. So my question would be this: when women go through our periods, when we go through pregnancy and postpartum, a lot goes on within us. A lot. Hormonal imbalance, mood swings and all of that. I know you're a man. Maybe you don't know exactly how we feel, but I know that you have a wife, you have sisters, you must have seen how we come about, and then you also are into therapy. So you should be in the best place to answer this. Coming from somebody on the outside, I will still also ask a woman, but coming from somebody on the outside, do you think there's a way we women can put our emotions in check when we go through all of these phases without lashing out? You know how that a woman is maybe the head of a firm or a manager, and then she's having some days where she just lashes out, and then you hear somebody like, she's already on her period. And just leave her, she's already on her period. Statement like that makes me feel like, does it mean, and you hear something like that's why women cannot lead because they wear their emotions so much. Does it mean that, is there a way that women can actually, come out and, is it stay above or rise above whatever it is that we are feeling and just be intact, whatever with our emotions without acting out how we are feeling, or let me just use that word.
Okay. I'm just going to ask a question. Peradventure, we have a woman in that space right now. But before I do, let me make you understand that I know what you're saying. So you see, it's come to a point that when you're in traffic in Lagos and you find a woman yelling, we just say, okay, she has not been touched.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
Good. So, but the thing is, in the same office where she's lashing out because she has not been touched, or because she's going through her menstrual period, because she's having hormonal imbalance, because she's having this is not hypothetical. Get me right. If she was to go for promotional exam on the same day that she's feeling all of these things, what will happen? Will she ask the system to change the exam because she's feeling that way? If she is to sign 100 billion naira or $100 billion contract for the company, will she tell their counterparts to go and come back when she's emotionally balanced? Okay, she's emotionally imbalanced and she's going through emotional issues at that moment. We sympathize with her. We empathize with her. Do you understand? To be honest, I just told you so you know we know. But my question is, if the house goes on fire, will she say, no, I can't run? I'm having hormonal imbalance. So it goes to show, listen, let me say this. Your emotion is not your leader.
Yeah.
Your emotion is not your commander. Let me give you a typical example. A woman came home. Her son had messed things up so bad. So, and she was yelling. I mean, yelling. You could feel it that if she had her way, she would have killed that boy. And while in the middle of that, her phone rang. And she picks up, it was her boss. And she picks the phone. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Yes, I'm home, sir. And the man asks a question from the other end, and she provided the right answer. And then she drops the phone and comes back to the anger. What happened to the anger when she took that call? So it means that you can control your anger, you chose not to. You can control your emotion, you just chose not to. So
Hmm.
if the house is on fire, you're not going to say I'm emotionally down, I'm going through emotional imbalance or hormonal imbalance or this. You will not say I'm angry, you will not say I've not been touched. You can yell in traffic and get away with it. You can snap at people and get away with it. But if you do that
Woo!
with business, you're gone, even if it's your own. If you do that with
You
fire,
have
the
broken
person
a
is a gunner.
ego.
The person is a gunner. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
see, the truth of the matter is, even if the emotion is having issues, marry somebody you can talk to.
Hmm.
Before you make up your mind to marry somebody you can talk to. I'm not an advocate of marry your friend, but marry somebody you can talk to. If it's your friend, fine. But if it's not your friend, but marry someone you can be vulnerable with. Somebody who is not wearing the crown of a judge every time you talk. Somebody who is not listening to advise you. There are times you listen to your spouse, don't listen to as advice. Listen to cuddle. Listen to assure them that you are with them in this.
Hmm.
It is not every time. And you're not your wife's pastor, you're not your husband's pastor. Stop preaching to them. If your spouse comes to you for an emotional issue, that's not when to pick up your Bible. You see, the book of James says, drop your Bible. If she wants a pastor, she has a pastor's number. She would have called her
Oh
pastor. You're not
my
your wife's, you're not your spouse's pastor. Some things
God.
we miss, we abuse a lot of things because we are religious. You're not your spouse's
Hmm.
pastor. Both of you are spouses. So if I have emotional issues, do you want me to go and be discussing with my partners in the office? Is it not you? So is that when you should be carrying your Bible? Are we in church? Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yes,
marry
sir.
somebody you can be vulnerable with. Those are the things you must look out for. Marry someone you can be vulnerable with. If you can't be, please, but especially if you have found yourself to be such a person, don't upset the system. The way you are brought up is the way you would be. If anybody tries to change you, it becomes odd to you. That's how it
Yeah.
begins to look as if so don't go into something that will change you. Know who you are, embrace who you are, love who you are. That is good. If there's anything you know that is not good, tell your partner, see, I'm not good in this area, can you help me? Which is one of the
Hmm.
things I do when you come for premarital. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
Hmm.
No man should ever tell you that he cannot cheat. Every man can cheat if the circumstances are right. So I
Hmm.
need to know the circumstance that will make me cheat. And I must
Hmm.
tell my partner, you see, under this circumstance, I can cheat. So whenever you see this circumstance happening, step in. But coming to tell
Hmm.
people I cannot cheat, are you God? Even the Bible says righteous man will fall 7 times. So meaning that we are fallible. Is the Bible didn't say we will fall, but it's telling us our fallibility. So it's not
Yeah.
you now who will know more than the Bible and be saying, I cannot. Who you be? Do you get what I'm saying? So we
Yes,
must come to the
sir.
point where we embrace our vulnerability, but in embracing it, look for somebody who will not mock you through it.
Hmm.
Somebody who would rather help you through it. Somebody who would help you overcome it. Not people who would look you in the eye and be telling you how stupid you are. So
Hmm.
the decision to marry is not all about I saw a fine lady or I saw
Hmm.
a handsome, tall, dark, and rich man. Until a lot of people did that way, and as we speak, they have all gone to the great beyond.
Woo! Mr. Lawa has shattered tables, broken tables. They don't have legs again. In fact, there's no even table. There's no table
But
at
we
this.
can rearrange. We can still rearrange it now. Abba.
No, no
Sometimes you
need
need
to
to break
rearrange.
things
Leave
down.
it broken.
No,
Leave it
sometimes you need
broken.
to break things. You need to break things down for you to rebuild them.
If we rebuild this one, it's not be table again. No.
But at least we can still use it to place things.
Yes, yes. We can use it to create something else, but it will not be a table. So, Mr. Lawal, thank you. So, I don't want this session to end, to be honest. I don't want this session to end. At least people are
Chai,
now
they did not.
seeing.
So nobody asked questions. Nobody
They
enjoyed my
did, they
session.
did, they
Can
did,
we
they
take one
did.
or two from people now? Let's take one or two from people.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, see me wanting to release you, and then you don't want to be released. Okay, no problem. Okay, to somebody, do you have questions? You can drop it in comments. You can drop it in comments. Mr. Lawal is available for therapy sessions, for premarital counseling. You can always reach out to him through me, or you can go to his Instagram page at Coach Remy Lawal and reach out to him there. He's always available. When you tell him you are from the Kayuman Network, just know that you are going to be getting discounts. And for all of you that won the clarity session with him, I'm going to be calling the names of those people. I don't know if you are online. There are people that won clarity session with him, and I'll be calling their names right now while we wait for people to ask questions. So number one person is Daniel Blessing. Are you online? Daniel Blessing, are you online? You won a clarity session with Coach Remy Lawal. Are you online? Oyeniyi Adepeju, are you online? Oladele Peace, are you online? Those are the three people that won. We wanted to give five people, but only three people indicated interest in clarity session with coach, and maybe they didn't know, they didn't know that
It's
it was
fine.
going to be.
It's
So
fine.
so, and we're not taking any more entries. I have imputed
Wow.
myself in the remaining two. So I have taken
Wow.
up the space. You guys don't know how much I begged for this session. Mr. Remy does not come cheap. You guys don't know what you're missing. But anyways, okay, yes, Oladele Peace is online. Daniel Blessing is online, and I don't know if Oyeni, if you are not online, sorry, that's gone. So, but if there is, okay, let's give room for any other person that is online, and you want a clarity session with Coach Remy Lawal. So, can you still take more people? We just have two
It's
people
up
that
to
are
you.
online.
It's up
So
to
we
you. It's
have
up to you. Let me
three
have them.
slots. Three slots. The first three people, if you need a clarity session with Coach Remy Lawal, just indicate and you will be picked right now. We are going to be ending this shortly. We don't have any questions right now. We're going to be ending this shortly. All right. Okay, that ends it. So thank you so much for this session. I really, really appreciate it. I really am honored that you graced our platform. This means a lot to me, a whole lot. And I'm going to. Okay, Modupe has indicated its interest. No, you're not the fifth person, you're the third person right now. You are the third person. Yeah. Modupe Mary is has indicated interest. So we have three people, and I would give them your contacts so that they can reach out to you from the Kai Human Network. Thank you so much. And we will be meeting again. We can release you now. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause in the comment section. Let's have a round of applause for him while we release him and let him go. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. So yeah, we have okay, don't worry. For these people, I'm going to be just send me a message in my DM, and then I'll be sending you his contact so that you can reach out to him. Thank you for staying this far. Thank you for joining. It means a lot to me. And we'll be meeting again tomorrow. We'll be meeting again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Don't miss it. I want you to guess who will be coming tomorrow. If you can guess, the first person to guess, you get a free gift from me. First person to guess our speaker tomorrow. Okay, you might not know their names offhand, but you can go and guess on our Instagram platform. First person to guess get a free gift from me. So we will be having another interesting speaker tomorrow, and I don't want you to miss it. If you were here tonight, you don't want to miss tomorrow, you don't want to miss in fact, you don't want to miss any of the days. And I assure you it's going to be value for your time. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you unlearned, and I hope that you relearned. And I also hope that you gained clarity, because for me it was a lot of clarity on learning and relearning. And we will be meeting again tomorrow. This is the Caillou Man, and I am signing off for tonight. See you tomorrow. Kisses, you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.